You ready? If you would please stand with us as we say the pledge and invocation. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Lord, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the opportunity to come together, Lord, to do the business of Walton County. We pray that you'll be with us and help us to make the right decisions and do the right things for the citizens of Walton County. I ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. I didn't sit there this time. I want to do
Real quick, Wayne, before you get started, if you would, if you haven't already done so, please silence your phones. That way we don't have too many interruptions if we don't have to. Mr. Dias.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have two announcements. The first one is at the last meeting, there was some discussion regarding the board using electronic devices to have their agendas, and it was mentioned using a tablet or a pad to look at your agendas. I have spoken about that with people in the county, the administration, and also some of our tech people. That's something we can certainly do at a very minimal cost, we feel like. What we would envision would be to issue whomever wants a tablet, and it would be a Wi-Fi connection only. And we have a FTP site where the agenda will be uploaded to, and then anybody with that tablet could download the agenda to their tablet through the FTP site, and that would be very simple. We would be willing to provide training and whatever necessary to do that, but we certainly can do that. And if you wish us to move forward, we'll certainly move forward with that.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Wayne, is there a way that, say I have my own tablet, can I go to that STP site and download it, and
Yes,
having to have the county issue me one?
Exactly. And at the last meeting, I think that was mentioned at the last meeting, and we can provide a tablet for people who may want one, but not necessarily have to. The FTP site, I believe, is accessible by anyone as long as we give you the method of getting to it and giving you the code to it.
Okay. Mark, we take action on that? Or
No,
do we
you
need
don't
to do
have
anything?
to. It would be up to between the staff and you guys about how you'd like to receive your material. And just again, as a personal preference, we would much prefer you to use the FTP site because of the cost involved of all the copying. And again, I came from the old school. I've been on the school board a long time, and we converted to a online version of our packet. It takes a couple of meetings to get used to, but once you get used to it, you'll love it. You will absolutely enjoy doing it that way. It's just so much easier.
It's so much easier and save a lot of money.
Save money and time, and it's easier for those folks to get it downloaded and get it to you quicker. And
Right.
I would, again, if you don't want it that way, that would be up to you. But we would much prefer when you go to use the FTP site.
Anybody have any questions?
Mr.
Comments, concerns?
If we could, we'll try to shoot for the next meeting to have those, but at the next meeting, we may want to do both, just so we can try it out. Make a regular written package for you, and then also provide the tablet, so we can kind of get accustomed to it, and then we'll take it from there as far as if you guys want to.
I'll need training.
I don't have.
Okay, all right.
I have
Who would need a tablet?
but I'm going to need training.
So we got one tablet you need. Anybody else need a tablet?
Yeah, I need a tablet.
So 3. Ms. Harris, need a tablet? Do you have one?
I have one.
Okay.
I
And you have
have
one? Okay. All right.
What we should do then is maybe do that for the next meeting, and then prior to the following meeting, have like a
Little training session.
little training session prior to the meeting
Okay.
starting. That way we can go through it.
We'll be glad to do that.
One of the things I envision in this is because so many of the public comments are last minute that they won't be included, so that we'll still get supplemental handouts at the meetings with up to minute stuff.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean, because the agenda will go out usually about a week or 8 days in advance, and so anything that would come in after that, we'd obviously have to hand it out at the meeting and do it there. Or I guess as we get them in, we could upload them to the FTP site again, couldn't we?
The site can be uploaded pretty.
Yeah, we could do that, but
Now, which members would need a tablet?
4.
Mr. Patton?
Ms. Patton, you need a tablet?
Okay. All right. Pat, Mary, Kramer, and Stewart?
No, I don't need one. Terrell.
And training.
And a lot of training.
We can definitely do that for you. And I think it'd be much quicker to get the packets, and also it's as Mark mentioned, it's a cost savings also.
Very good.
Wayne, there really should not be any of this kind of stuff given to us 15 minutes for the meeting.
Ms. Harris, I don't. What is that?
This is all the letters that were handed to us just a minute ago. 15 minutes for a meeting. And I talked to Carrie about it. And Carrie, I usually do return phone calls, so if you say I didn't return yours, I'd like to have the date and time. But these things were sent to Carrie. She said tonight, I just got them. They were sent on 9/3, 9/2, 9/2, 9/2, 8/28, 8/13, 9/4, 9/4, 9/5, 8/29, 9/5, 9/5, and 9/8. So there's no reason that we should get this packet here tonight, all printed out, to have to read. There's no way we could read it tonight. Some of them I've gotten before.
Right.
Okay, some of these I figure I've seen. But this is a big waste of paper. All of these could have been emailed to us as you were getting them that very day, and there would not be the need for this. And it's not fair to the people sitting in this room tonight that wrote these letters for us not to have time to read them.
Right.
So I would like, if we're going to have a tablet, I have an email address, and whether I'm on this planning board or not, Carrie, when you get something, I'd like it forwarded to me then so that I can at least read what people say.
Well,
Yes, Carrie?
Those packets were not our paper. They were delivered to the planning department today by a member of the public.
Carrie, each one of these emails you were copied on.
Yes.
Each one of these emails sent on 8/28, 8/29 went to you, to your email address. All you had to do was hit forward and send it to me, and I could have read it the day you got it.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, if I could have one
Yes.
real quick. We get an enormous amount of letters, emails, and those kind of things. We will do our best to get them to you as quickly as we can. I will tell you, though, we get some things at the very last minute. I mean,
Right.
if I emailed you, I mean, we get things hours before the meetings, and so
Not
that-
one of these came later
Right.
than 9/8. Not one, and some came in August.
Well, hopefully the tablet, the electronic system will help alleviate a lot of that, being able to upload it.
There's that many in my package.
I don't think they're the same ones.
But we will certainly try to get them to you as quick as we can, but
Very
I just
good.
got these today.
Any other
This is
questions from
true. She-
commissioners
we weren't here
about the
today.
tablets or?
She just passed them
stuff?
out and said, I
Okay.
just got these today.
What's next?
the next item, we have two items on our agenda. We have two requests for continuances from the applicants.
The ones that had her name on it.
Yeah,
Go through here, and you look at.
let's move on. Go ahead, repeat that, Wayne.
Mr. Chairman, we have two items on the agenda. One is legislative, one is quasi-judicial, and both of these, we have requests for continuance from the
Okay.
applicant.
Take them one at a time.
Yes, sir. The first one is legislative.
Oh, I'm sorry, we need to approve minutes. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yep. Everybody had a chance to review the minutes? You have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second? We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Yeah, they are.
Sorry, I jumped
approved.
ahead.
Oh, here we go, okay.
Ready for the
Yeah,
next
go
item?
ahead.
Mr. Chairman, the first item is legislative item. It's Waterfalls by the Bay large-scale amendment. We got a request to continue this item several days ago. And again, staff has no problem with the continuance.
Okay, we need
Make
to,
a motion to extend, to delay this until next month's meeting at the same, here at the time, certain.
Okay.
we have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, the next item is quasi-judicial. Do we need to be sworn in for this one, Mark?
Yeah, just briefly. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this board will be the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay. And this also, we have a request to continue on this one. I believe they had a community meeting last night. And again, staff has no opposition.
This
to
is the applicant requesting continuance?
Yes, sir, that's right. We have no objection to the continuance.
Okay. We need a motion and a second.
Motion to move it to next month's meeting here, time certain.
We have a motion and a second
Point of
discussion.
discussion, I'd just like to see if there's anyone in the public, I mean, because they might have shown up here from Tennessee for all we know, to come down to this meeting tonight. or-
And if we're not gonna hear the item,
They're
though,
not here.
you can't hear it.
Well, actually, we can, if they're here, we can take their testimony, understanding that the testimony would not be, we're not going to make a decision
Right,
tonight.
I mean, there's people who might have come from out of town a long ways off, and
Well,
just push it back next month into October.
Yeah, if they don't want to come back next month, Mr. Chairman, we could
Okay.
actually go ahead and take their testimony tonight.
Is anybody in that circumstance? Yes, sir. Good.
We've never done this before.
No, we haven't.
Well,
We've never, A, we've never done it before, and B, the applicant, I don't know if the applicant's here or not, but if the applicant's here, not here, it's unfair to be hearing testimony.
The
Well-
applicant should have been
Why
here.
wouldn't the applicant be here? What if we voted not to continue it?
Yeah, we can vote not to continue.
Wayne?
And there's one other thing, let me just say this, one other problem. Unlike previous years, the objectors actually have standing now. We can't exclude, we have to hear from objectors. So if someone is here with a notice, if there was a notice published and somebody's here and they want to speak, even if we grant the continuance, we should take their testimony because they actually have standing now. We actually have to allow them to
Will we have a record of that testimony at the next meeting?
this will change. So, yes, sir. It would be part of the record for the next meeting, yes, sir.
Will the applicant have an opportunity to have access to those?
Yes, sir. If the applicant wants to subpoena this person to have him back to cross-examine him, the applicant would have that opportunity.
Mark, it doesn't have to be just somebody from out of town, though.
No,
What
no,
if
no.
somebody's
It could be
sitting
anybody.
in this audience and they're going to be gone next
If
time?
they're what we would call an objector or someone who's opposed to the project, or even really somebody who's supporting the project, we have to take their testimony if they're here and they want to testify.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do we continue it prior to their testimony or after?
Say it again. No, you need to take their testimony, then issue a continuance.
Okay.
You don't have to issue a continuance, but if you issue a
Well, I
continuance,
know.
yes.
We do have a motion in a second.
Yes, we do. This,
Yeah, and
If
he's,
we withdraw those,
no,
we'll
the
just hear
motion's pending.
testimony and then vote on the motion.
He may want to speak for or against the continuance.
okay.
Yeah,
You
come
would
on.
step to the mic, and if you would, state your name and spell your last name for the record.
My name is Andrew Carpenter, Carpenter, C-A-R-P-E-N-T-E-R. Sorry,
That's okay. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this board will be the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
My name is Andrew Carpenter, C-A-R-P-E-N-T-E-R. Mr. Chairman, members of the board, thank you very much. Just to explain, I'm actually assigned in New York City. I work for the United Nations. I came with my family specifically for this meeting. I would willingly come back for the adjournment. I may be posted overseas to South Sudan. I have no control over that, so I really appreciate being able to make this testimony. So with that, my name is Andrew Carpenter. I'm a homeowner in the Sugarwood subdivision. My home is 477. It's directly impacted by the proposed development. And to be clear, negatively impacted. The big areas that I'd just like to touch on, firstly, community compatibility. Mr. Hartley yesterday at the community meeting, which he held, he mentioned in his words, which was on camera and is available for you to see, he mentioned moving the existing Seagrove Market on a skateboard across the road. That's slightly disingenuous. As it moves across the road on the skateboard, it triples in size and it adds a bar with a liquor license. This is for his benefit, not for the benefit of the community. So I think there are other issues that you will know better than I about the zoning of the land, how much of that land is available for commercial use, and how much has already been used by the Regent's Bank. There's also the question of the environmental impact. South Walton in particular is very special. It's one of only 2 places in the world that has coastal dune lakes. There's no way that a small retention pond is actually going to protect the wetlands from the runoff not only of more development, but the toxins which will come from the property and from the waste. Unlike a bank, this is going to have all types of matter. It's going to have alcohol spilt if there's a liquor license. There's vehicles putting all sorts of pollutants onto the tarmac, which every time that it rains will wash into the wetlands. Again, I will leave other people who know better to say exactly the questions regarding the environmental impact. Traffic congestion. Anybody needs to look at 395 and 30A. It's backed up already. The impact of this new enlarged restaurant, the issues of parking. From the plan that we were shown last night, it's likely to have cars rushing in but unable to turn around. And the question is, how many people will it require to die on 395 for people to think that this is a bad idea? I try not to be melodramatic. It's questions of road safety. I have a young daughter, many of the other community homeowners. We're homeowners, we're families, we have children. Do we need more vehicles being driven by people who have unfortunately used too much alcohol, on a congested road? There's issues of parking. Where will all these visitors park? The intention is to run lunch and also dinners at this establishment. Where will they park? Probably in our communities. That's undesirable. Also have the question of the members of the public who will enjoy this establishment and the contractors that work there. They will likely seek to gain access to the property, again, through our communities. We've got issues of noise, smells, and potentially loud music, again, polluting our quality of life here. There's minor things such as mosquitoes as well, most probably from all of the pools of standing water. But I think what is most telling with exigencies of time, at yesterday's meeting, we asked Mr. Hartley and his team on camera, were they aware of the need for the 250 setback buffer before purchasing the property? And he said he was, and he also said he has no plan currently which would comply with the in-force county and state regulations. He said, his own words, not coerced by us, that he was gambling on you granting a waiver. And if the waiver was denied, he'd cross that bridge when he comes to it. So I would say to you, he's not asking for a waiver. He's asking you to disregard the current regulations for his and not the community's benefit. My family, I'm sure many other families which would be affected by this proposed development, would simply ask you to uphold the regulations, serve the people of this county, and please don't put profit before people. Say no to this development, and don't allow Mr. Hartley's gamble to ruin several established communities in Seagrove, if not Seagrove itself. And I thank you very much for making this opportunity for me to speak to you.
Thank you.
Mr. Coach, as I might, Mr. Chairman, I need to just ask some questions, maybe say you can get a subpoena. Are you an environmental expert?
No.
Are you a certified or licensed planner or a graduate with a planning degree?
In international expeditionary missions, yes, I'm the Chief of Strategic Planning for the United Nations, but I think you mean in terms of planning communities and urban stuff. So the answer would be no.
Okay, and the approximate distance from your residence, not your community, but from your residence to the site?
Great. I actually own 2 properties in Woodbeach Drive. I was going to say, and the one which is closest, which is 477, is within 30 to 40 feet. Therefore, we were actually sent registered letters by Mr. Hartley and his team.
Okay. And this is the first time when you came into this situation where you understand about the 250-foot buffer from residential preservation areas. So it's the first time you've ever heard about it.
Yes, because I've never looked
The
at
reason I ask that is the county regularly abrogates that because we have lots of approved projects since that was enacted that are within the 250-foot buffer to residential preservation, just so you're aware.
Okay, great. No, thank you for that. Okay, and again, Chair. Yes.
One last question. Are you a civil engineer doing any water hydraulic? Okay.
I was going to say, just for the record, I qualified as a combat engineer in the UK, but not as a civil engineer.
Right.
So I'm very good at blowing things up.
I
I should say for the record, that's
I'm
no
glad we
threat.
let you speak
We
tonight.
might need to hire you.
And obviously, that's no threat to Mr. Hartley and his
Right.
development. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much.
Is there anybody else? Nobody else? Okay.
I may or may not be here next month.
Do I have to be sworn in
Yeah,
or
Sure.
something?
You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this board will be the truth.
Absolutely.
And would you
My
say your
name's-
name, spell
My
it?
name's Linda Cook. Good evening and
Is that C-O-O-K?
C-O-O-K. Good evening and thank you for allowing me to speak. It's my hope that you all have had a chance to drive through Sugarwood Development and be able to see the tremendous impact this proposed construction would have on the neighbors adjoining this restaurant bar. And I'll let you know that it's not going to be affecting me. I live up the street, but it will have a tremendous effect on the people in the rear of our development. This section of Sugarwood has been a quiet oasis from traffic noise and the hubbub of 30A and 395 since its inception in the early 1990s. It's my understanding that the zoning in our development is residential preservation, which requires a 250-foot buffer between residential and commercial properties, and I hope that you will enforce that this evening and not grant a variance. And I do know that you grant them all the time, but there must have been a rule for that, reason for that to begin with. I do not see a hardship case for this project, as Mr. Hartley was aware of the requirements for this lot when he purchased it. The additional traffic that will be created by the new V project, as well as the restaurant, will make the corner of 395 and 30A unbearable during the summer months. With this plan and future plans coming before you, please consider the quality of life for future generations in Seagrove Beach, because you all know it's changing, and not for the better. It's time to stop the variances, exceptions, and buyouts, and follow the rules. Please do not approve this plan as proposed. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Does anybody else wish to speak? Okay, seeing none, we'll close the public comments. We have a motion and a second on the floor. Any discussion up here? All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. That's the last item on the agenda, so we'll be adjourned.
Just one comment I wanted to make to staff. Brian, I don't know if any of you, but I did not get a drainage plan, a lighting plan, nor any elevations of the buildings and my stuff. There were pages that said, see the construction drawings.
They were not included in the inserts that were submitted to us. None of us have them.
Well, it's a good thing we're not meeting one, because I was asked to be able to continue until we could have looked at those things.
Okay.
Oh,
Try to have those
Yeah,
for
yeah,
the,
so are you going to hold these and not print them again till next month?
Okay. And
So that we'll have these?
one explanation, I know that I'm on those, but someone from the public wanted to make sure that we had them. So they brought 10 packets today. They called and said, we want to bring a handout for the meeting. How many do we need to bring? And I said 10. So that particular set was bought. Some of those from August should already be in your books. Anything that was received by last Thursday was put in your books. But yes, if you'll leave at your place, I'll save them and we'll put them in next month and that'll just stay in paper.
I'll just bring
Very
mine
good.
back.
I move
Very good.
adjournment.
stand adjourned.
Thank you.
I knew there was a reason I didn't bring my coffee in with me.
You don't need it.
I thought, well, if I need it, I'll go back and get it first break. Otherwise, I'm not going to get it.
No.
Well, they had a big turnout for the golf tournament.